It's blue
We're
time!
back.
Hooray!
We're back. We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
Blue this time, and this time we are joined by the vocalists Leafy and Winter.
Yeah.
Woo! Vocalists, cool
Yeah.
people.
Yay.
Alright. Same deal as last time. Let's start from the beginning with lyrics, which was quite a mess this time.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm still not sure what happened with the lyrics. Something happened.
Yeah, blue is actually how the jukebox was formed. Still it's posted in the Derivakat server, a Chinese translation of blue, and it was just like a kind of simple and like as easy as possible translation. And then it was the second time I had seen her post Chinese translations in the Derivakat server, so I was like, we should make I think I said discography because I don't know, it just came to my mind. And then she was like, yeah. And then she created Jukebox. And then invited the rest of us to it. And we were like, oh, okay. And so that's how we were formed. And after we were invited, Eneris actually made a second version of the translation, which is basically the version that we have now. And Vinyl edited that version, which is what we think happened. We're still not sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so Blue is actually our first cover, not Tell Your Story.
Technically,
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Shall we move on to the arrangement now?
Yes, please tell us about it.
So I made the arrangement for Blue as well. And the intro was actually inspired by Taunt by Lovejoy.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that intro and I was like, this is
Yeah, I made it too similar.
Yeah.
I made it way too similar the first time around, but I edited it later on. And then Brine took my arrangement and changed the vibe of it for our cover. So if you want to listen to the original version, it's actually on my channel that I posted a few months ago, which kind of shows you how long we've been working on this stuff.
We actually stopped working on Blue for quite a while, so.
We did. We put it in the back of our minds.
Out of sight, out of mind. So sad. Yeah, so Moch had a very bright arrangement. It was like all sunny and stuff, you know, and it was super different from the original. And like when I took over, I like toned it back, and I actually initially toned it back too far, and I made it sound all like muffled. It was basically like first it was too bright, and then it was too dark, and then it got in the middle somewhere. So yeah, that was a confusing process.
Woo. And you used FL Studio to make this, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Like only basic features. I don't really know how to use the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's about all I have to say for the arrangement for the what do we call this section?
Just the music.
Yeah. And then that's when it got tabled for a while, and then we realized that Simba was busy with Doomsday, which is coming soon. Please be there. It's awesome. Put a lot of work into it. But since Simba was busy, we didn't have another mixer, we went to Moch's friend, xGravity. Actually, do you want to introduce xGravity since we didn't do that?
Oh, yeah. So, where should I begin? So, xGravity and I kind of know each other as like casual-ish friends from a long while back. And when I announced on my channel that I was joining Jukebox, I guess he must have noticed and then checked out our intro video and then joined our server, offering to help with mixing. And that's how we got him to help us mix for Blue.
Yay! Thank you, xGravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check out his channel. He makes dubstep and EDM music.
Thank you for editing our vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, and xGravity doesn't know Chinese, so Moch and I sat in VC with him and like told him where to put the vocals and stuff. Yeah, and is there anything to say about that mixing process?
Only that he made it sound good.
Yeah, he like told us a little bit about what he was doing along the way as well. So that was cool. Yeah. I think we should probably talk about the vocals at this point. That was such a mess.
I would say the vocal part of this is probably like the messiest portion of the making of Blue.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Both me and Leafy were like dying in two different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who the vocalist was originally going to be.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Vinyl, but
Yeah.
oh my god, do you want, I don't have any words. Do you want to explain?
Okay, I'll talk about this. So originally this was going to be sung by Vinyl, and Vinyl actually helped us mix an earlier version of this before xGravity came in. And then that got shelved, and we uploaded Tyler's story. And when we came back to our Blue cover, two issues immediately came up. First of all, Vinyl was singing to a version of the lyrics that isn't the same as our current version, so they would have to re-record. And second of all, the instrumental and the mixing were not good.
Yeah, the thing about Vinyl's recordings were that they like compiled it themselves and added a crap ton of reverb, and they went inactive, so we couldn't contact them for the raw files.
Yeah, by the time they got back and was ready to re-record, I think they got sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could neither re-record nor send the files, and we just had to get new vocalists. And the issue with that was that Enders is a native speaker of Chinese, and he wrote these like super dense and like hard to pronounce lyrics. And
because Blue is pretty fast-paced with its syllables, and having to match it with Chinese, hard to sing, very hard to sing.
Yeah, and like I kind of wanted to like record a demo of how to pronounce it, but I never actually did it because Blue is like too high pitched for me. And also I just don't like, yeah. But
The amount of demos Blue has had though, since so long ago,
Yeah.
like there have been demos and demos, so many of them, and they were all wrong.
yeah.
I tried singing it once, and then I couldn't sing in tune, so it didn't turn out well.
Yeah. Leafy, do you want to talk about the process of figuring out how to pronounce it?
Figuring out how to pronounce it. My first attempt was just reading it. But then I was in a VC with Stilts, and she told me that a few of those were wrong. So I put the entire lyrics into Google Translate and listened to it, to how to pronounce it. With each take, I would sit there and listen to it with every take, and I think I took like 5 takes.
Oh my god, is that really how you did it?
Yeah, that's how I did it.
No, Google Translate.
I would just sit there like listening to the order, like reading thing.
Oh my
Just
god.
read it to me constantly over and over again.
I feel bad now that I didn't record a demo.
You should.
Okay.
It's fine. But yeah, and a lot of the takes that I took multiple takes of the one take, so spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, Leafy isn't very experienced in speaking Chinese, so it was like really hard, and I'm really
Yeah.
thankful that you were willing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for putting up with us.
It's fine.
Yeah. Winter, do you want to talk about your
Your struggles.
I'm more familiar with like speaking Chinese and like saying the lyrics, I guess, because I don't know, I speak Chinese more often. But my problem, if you've heard me singing in the past, is that I have this really sad tone, or it's just like my voice sounds like I'm going to die at any moment. And Blue is a happy song, so I struggled a lot with sounding happy. That was my problem.
Yeah, we should show like
Yeah.
screenshots of all the things that Winter said while recording this.
No, what did I say?
Let's go back to our channel trailer. What did we say about herself?
I'm the one that the jukeboxers go to when they need something to sound sad.
That's sad.
Because whenever I try to sound
Proceed to
happy, they get
sing Glee.
concerned for my well-being.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You learned. You figured it out.
And then
It turned out
Yes.
great.
and then you said you would never sing happy again because it kills your soul.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. It's like so bright and shiny and it feels weird.
Winter's just built different.
She is
And
built
that's
different.
okay. We love her for it.
Yes.
Wow, I'm so loved.
Yeah, what a legend.
Wow, Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the vocals were done, I believe, Brian, you did some tuning for the vocals because Blue is very fast-paced and it's hard to sing in tune and enunciate perfectly at the same time.
Yeah. I wanna applaud Leafy for having pretty much correct rhythm the whole way.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like
Yeah.
I just did minimal adjustments to Leafy's vocals. That was quite impressive. I think that
Thank you.
blues rhythm is very hard to get very
Mhm.
precisely correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean the tuning wasn't particularly difficult. Both of them are capable singers, and even though they sacrificed some intonation for being able to pronounce correctly and sound happy, they still were like they held their pitches in a coherent manner, and I mean tuning isn't that hard when your vocalists are decent.
Aw.
Pog.
Yay.
I apologize for the background noise.
It's fine. Yeah, we can move on to the
Move on to the art.
Yeah.
What happened with the art? It was also a mess.
Oh my god, blue in general is just a mess.
Yeah, because it's the first thing we worked on. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember with the art, I drew the initial sketch for it, but I don't know how to draw people, so it looked really bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then so when I sent out the initial sketch, I think Brian, you redrew it, and then Vinyl, you proportioned
Yeah.
it, and then you drew it again.
The thing about my redraw was it was like one of the first things I ever drew on a drawing tablet, and I didn't know how to use a drawing tablet. And I ended up like making him really skinny and like oddly proportioned because I tried to make him look like he was really tall, but that didn't work out and he just looked like a stick.
Lanky
And
boy.
so Vinyl came along and like gave him a bit of like a puffy sleeves and stuff, and like it looked a bit more natural. Which it wasn't really what I was envisioning,
Yeah.
but it looked good, so I just rolled with it. And then I
Yeah.
animated it.
And then afterwards, wait, hold on. I colored it, and I shaded it, and then you
The good
animated
thing
it.
about Moch's shading is that he barely does any, so it didn't really get in the way of animating. I could just animate without shading, which is probably something you'll never unsee, but whatever. Don't look over it. Yeah.
So that is why the art has 3 people in the credits, because
Yeah.
it was credit
And
process.
The animation, I was using Fire Alpaca, which can only animate in onion skin layers. It can't like, it doesn't have like a live playback thing. So I kind of just had to like guess and then like export it as separate frames and then have poor Moch go and like put them back together.
Yeah, so I was so I was in charge of putting everything together. I had to time the frames myself, and then yeah, just put it together. The process for the video of Blue is very similar to Tell Your Story. So I would have just the background with the audio visualizer and Busy.io. I would put the text frames into Google Drawings, and then the animation together, and then layer it all in VSDC.
Yeah. And I actually did like an earlier demo of the animation, and during that I discovered that VSDC lags the frick out when you have a bunch of image objects in it.
Oh.
It does. Yeah, I had to export the animation separately and then layer the text on top of it in a separate project.
Pain.
Yeah. So blue in general is just very scuffed. Was very scuffed to make, but it turned out pretty cute.
Yeah, and Derivakat and Keepa commented about it, so that was cool.
Yeah, they did.
You guys can't see the Derivakat part because it was in Discord. Yeah.
And then we were done.
Yay!
Yeah.
And yay.
Anyway, I think that's it. Thank you for watching.
That's one way to end the video.
On that note, goodbye.
Bye.